Hello and welcome to Book Bytes. My name is Javier and Llerena. My wife is Christina. She is not here with me, but she did the first chapter. You can always go back through our YouTube channel, or you can go through our Facebook page and listen to the first chapter that she did. We calling this series Book Bytes, and our goal is to go through every chapter of Boundless Love, Healing Your Marriage Before It Begins, and kind of give you a taste of three takeaways from each chapter, and then provide you with some reflection questions that you can take with you if it resonates in regards to healing your marriage before it begins. And like always, accepting God's love, which is boundless love, and really empowering yourself with God's love and your relationship with Him, and also in your relationship with your spouse or your significant other or your partner. So let's dive into the three key points of healing your childhood wounds. The first one that I want to talk about is, as a child, my father used to say, "Hey, forget about anything bad that has happened to you. Just move on." And then as I was growing up, I realized that a lot of the problems that I was having in my marriage were due to not really healing childhood wounds, right? And I realized that in order to empower my marriage and really grow in my spiritual life and really make a really strong marriage, I needed to really heal my childhood wounds that I had in the past. And a key factor of that is my father and my family have a tendency of, hey, just let's not talk about it. Let's not talk about the trauma. Let's not talk about anything that is hurtful. And a point I think is really good to talk about it, to really process and heal from it, and take the best out of it to move forward in your relationship. The second point is, if you don't heal yourself, your childhood wounds, you're going to keep repeating this pattern with your partner, with your spouse, because you're not really looking inward, you're looking outward. So obviously, as your relationship progress and you're about to get married, you're married, there's a very intimate relationship that you have with your spouse. And if you don't look inward on what's happening with you, why you're reacting this way, whenever you're under a lot of stress, or perhaps triggers that happen throughout the co-living with your spouse, what happens is, obviously, you're going to blame that person, or you're going to blame the circumstances, or you're going to blame the in-laws of everything that is happening. So that's why it's so important to look into your childhood wounds and look inward, right? Always check myself every day. If things are not going well in my marriage, the first thing I check is, hey, what's happening with me internally? Why am I reacting this way? And obviously, I check and make sure my ego, make sure the wounds that I have from my childhood don't get in the way, because most likely, they get in the way. And if they get in the way, then obviously your marriage doesn't go as well. It might be a blow up, or it might be a small argument, or it might be what I call the ladder of escalation until things get worse. The third point is that, yes, we need to make peace with the past, right? And this point, I agree with my dad that, yes, you got to move forward, but you also need to heal yourself, so you feel free for the present. And also, in order to have a healthy and safe and fulfilling marriage, right, we need to learn to let go, right, and really focus what is now, and the vision of what your marriage can be, right? Accepting the painful memories, and accepting the grief that I personally went through when my dad passed away, and really looking into, hey, what what the source of that pain, and really think about one of the good things is how did I survive all the support that I got, ways to really grieve my father's death, ways to really put myself, what I call, into the little Javier, and say, hey, look at me now. Everything is going to be okay. I know you were in a lot of pain, a lot of trauma back then, but look at me now. Look where we are now. And really also gain for the strengths, right, that you have built during that childhood trauma or those childhood pains that were created. Look at the good thing that came out of that. But at the same time, accept it and move on and move forward, because obviously we need to provide room, right? We need to provide room for God's love. We need to provide room for the good things that are gonna happen in your marriage, right? But if we hold on to that pain, that trauma, and we don't look into it, and we don't look into to really heal it, then what's gonna happen, as I mentioned on the second point, we're gonna look outward instead of looking inward. All right. So one of the things that we always talk about in our Boundless Love ministry is that when you go to God with your pain, and I think we all are encouraged to go to God with pain, and we encouraged to go to God with joy as well, right? Your wounds and your brokenness, you become full, holy, and healed through Him. And for me, was accepting Him as my Savior, accepting Him as my Holy Father, and really asking for the heal that I needed. And for Him that brought individuals into my life. It brought experiences, and obviously brought my wife that really helped me heal through these childhood wounds. The only way that we can sell yourself fully present is really loving others, as Christ encouraged us for us to love our neighbor the same way we love ourselves. So if we don't love ourselves, if we still have that childhood wounds, we still have those trauma that we haven't healed from, then how we're going to love our neighbors in the same way we love ourselves, and how we're going to love our spouses, our partners that really need that love in order to have a strong marriage. So there is no other way out of the past but through it into the present. So I encourage all the men out there that if you have any childhood wounds, you have any trauma, to really get support, to get either a therapist or pastor that can help you, or priest, or friends, or someone that can really help you to go to those painful moments and really process that and heal those. Not revisit those once you heal, but really process those things so you can move on and make your relationship that you in, or the relationship you're about to have, much stronger. All right. And I just want to leave you with a quote from the book, right? I embrace my past because it informs me, teach me, it leads me to my faith. It makes me stronger than most. And I don't let my childhood wounds dictate what God has for me in my marriage. So one of the biggest lessons I took by healing my childhood wounds was really that my past is not going to dictate the person that I'm going to be now and I'm going to be in the future. And also it's not going to dictate how successful and loving husband and supporting husband I'm going to be. So what I do every day is really check in myself, because once in a while, obviously, waves comes, right? The pain gets better. It doesn't go away. But once in a while, I check myself and really look inward and really say, hey, what is happening here? And do steps that I do to really reflect and really don't use the pain and look outward uh, instead of looking inward and healing myself. And I just want to leave you with some reflection questions, right? Questions that you can apply. You can discuss this with your partner, or you can just reflect on it and journal. I'm a huge advocate of journaling. I think journaling can really be a healing process. The first question is, in what ways does your childhood affect the ways you seek and receive love in your relationship? And the second question is, there's anything that you need to share with your partner or spouse about your childhood to build greater trust and intimacy in your relationship? So I think the second question is a very good question to really talk about things, trauma that happened during your childhood that perhaps is a good time before you get married, or maybe during your marriage, that you need to expose to your spouse and really have a deep conversation about it, because there might be things that perhaps you're ashamed, or perhaps you just don't want to revisit, but those things are the ones triggering and escalating problems that you might have with your spouse. So with that, I just want to thank you if you're watching this video and really being part of the Boundless Love ministry. Thank you for paying attention to this book Bytes. And if you haven't bought the book, I strongly suggest you buy it and you come along with us in this journey of Boundless Love. If you like this video, please put a like, and if you're watching this on YouTube, please subscribe to our channel to get more book bites, to get more interviews that we do weekly, and also to get more insights in regards to our Boundless Love ministry, which we create life-changing marriages. So thank you, and I hope I see you again next time in our book bite.